In this video, I'm going to describe the basic quality of what is commonly referred to as the mystical experience. These are experiences that seem to pierce through the ordinary fabric of understanding, reaching into a space that conventional modes of knowledge cannot grasp. The peak of such experiences is the epitome of profundity, surpassing all that is within the bounds of human imagination. And this surpassing of imagination is the basic quality of the mystical experience. It is that which leads us to a recognition that the experience is not merely a fragment of inspiration or an invention. We simply could not have imagined it. We do not have that ability. As we have learned, there are two general directions for our attention. When we focus on the immediate sensory world, we are subjects of the pleasures and pains of human experience. And when we focus on the idea of an ultimate reality, we cultivate a sense of righteousness and reverence that overshadows the trials and tribulations of normal life. We find a deeper meaning. And if, on a rare occasion, an individual is so fully devoted to the idea of an ultimate reality that they entirely forsake their physical experience, they may stimulate the production of a mystical experience, in which their limited awareness unites with its ultimate source. This experience is what I shall now proceed to explain. The perceived importance of the mystical experience is not entirely what we understand about it, but that we cannot entirely understand it rationally. In normal consciousness, all of our ideas, even the irrational ideas of a schizophrenic, are facilitated by their having a proper place within the context of all our other ideas. That is to say, our thoughts, by nature, make sense to us. If they did not, then we could not have thought them. But the mystical experience is a glimpse into a pure and unadulterated creativity. It is completely separate from the structures of rational cognition. It is not simply teaching us what is true, but also how we should feel. Now, there are infinite layers of complexity to the basic insight of the mystical experience, and each time you enter that state, you inch a little closer to its core. But despite this, that basic insight is utterly simple. You are simply peering into that which exists at the bottom of your capacity for experience, the bottom of your mind. And this thing is pure creativity, which is perfectly at peace. And you realize that every facet of life, every perception, every thought, every feeling is an emanation from this intrinsic creative power that you have. The realization transcends the complex scaffoldings of intellectual theorization and enters a realm of direct, unmediated knowledge. You literally experience the process of creating the very experience you are having in that moment. You see things from an absolute perspective. You feel the very reason why the universe exists. You remember how you came to exist. You become actively engaged in the very idea of reality. You are not discovering it. You are doing it. You understand the ultimate cause of human experience, which is precisely our ability to devote our attention to righteousness or pleasure, an ultimate or the immediate. You understand that this devotion is a fundamental act of willing the existence of that which we are devoted to. You understand that reality itself is a product of our willing reality. You understand that our ability to will and create the immediate world is dependent on our ability to will the ultimate, and that our ability to will the ultimate depends on the immediate. You understand that the experience you are having right now of that ultimate truth is your own ability to will and to create reality. You understand that you cannot be truly united with yourself while you are devoted to finding yourself. You understand that the cause of life is the peace that you ignore. You understand the solution to all. The main point I want to express is that this experience, which is available to us, is not simply an unveiling of creativity. You do not simply become aware of your creative core. It is a momentary yet total comprehension of how that creativity is actually working. And in that moment, you understand it so well that it would be no effort at all to convey that truth in all the clarity you have seen, if you can remember it. You will not grow to doubt your experience one day. No matter how much older and wiser you become, it is beyond the possibility of doubt. You have seen clarity where everything else is cloudy. You know why it must be true. You see how everything else implies its truth. You understand that there is no possible alternative explanation for existence than this. And then it goes. We return to a dualistic consciousness, and now the experience must become translated and remembered into the limited mode of human reason. You don't fully understand it anymore. You just know that you did for a moment. And the reason we cannot fully recollect such experiences is because, again, the significance of the experience is both the journey of the experience and its destination. You can remember the journey, but you always depart from the destination. The very reason you are able to have the experience is the same reason you cannot keep it. You needed devotion to get there. You need to surrender to stay there. In the mystical experience, you retrace the steps of creation from where you are right now to where it all began. The journey teaches you about the necessary consequences of how reality arises, of how human experience emerges from its ultimate source. But the destination shows you the cause of creation itself, which is precisely peace. And this is a quality that is not intellectual, that can only be felt. And because it is not intellectual, it is not an idea that is subject to doubt. It is reality. This video has laid the foundation for another video. In fact, this video only exists to lay this foundation. So please, I ask, watch the video that follows this one. This entire series has been heading towards a very important realization, and we are now prepared to tackle it. Watch the whole thing and pay attention. Thank you.